Okay, so welcome to your oral communication class. Okay, so today we will be discussing the week 1 and week 2 lecture. Okay, so for week 1, we have definition and principles of communication. Okay, so before I discuss the topic, let me first introduce to you the content of the oral communication in context subject. Okay, so we have here the oral communication in context. Okay, so this is the development of listening and speaking skills and strategies for effective communication in various situations. Okay, so in your LMS module, there will be an announcements here. Okay, so in my mouse pointer, all the announcements will be posted there. Okay, so there you go. There's a general announcement. You have to click okay, and then look for the announcement. Okay, so here the general announcement on July 16th. Okay, for the first batch. Okay, so this is the course is English 2111 oral communication in context. Uh, and of course, OLCs for this subject will be Ma'am Princess Carolino, the main OLC, and Joseph Bries, the secondary, and yours truly, my name Jirich Baldemoro, I'm a CLC Paco. Okay, so there will be, there happened a virtual class scheduled for, okay, so Tuesday from week 3. Okay, so there you go. Okay, so this announcement is for first batch actually. So if you want to, or if there's another announcement for batch 2016, okay, just click the announcement tab. Okay, and we have also our virtual library. Okay, so the password you have to enter is discover. Okay, so you have to click the virtual library if you wanted to search for a modules regarding this subject or other subjects. You have to click the virtual library. Okay, so again, the password is the word password. Okay, so I'm sorry. Pass. Ayun. Sorry. The password is discover. I think. Sorry. The password is discover. Okay. Okay. So in this virtual library, you can search different academic books. Okay, regarding your subject or whatever you are looking for. So we have available ebooks, periodicals, and primary sources and literatures. Okay. So this is your virtual library. You can use your virtual library if you want to search for uh, things. Okay. And then we have week 1, the definition, principles of communication, and then the lesson 1, definition and principles of communication. No? So this is the LMS module. So if you are using cell phones, okay, so you have to rotate your phones in a landscape mode. Okay, so you have to uh, unlock the rotation lock. Okay, so you can view all the content of LMS modules, because if you use it as a portrait mode or in a portrait mode, you cannot see the module here, okay, in your cell phone. So you have to rotate it uh, in landscape mode. Okay. Okay, so there is your module, no video uploaded, and there is no presentation uploaded. But we have here the PDF outside your LMS week 1 LMS module. And on week 2, the discussion will be the kinds of communication, and there you go, the LMS modules and the uploaded PDF. And on week 3, I hope you already answered this activity. We have the written work. Okay, so for written work, uh, there will be 5 attempts in each written works, written work 1 and written work 2. And this will be open from, for batch 2, this will be open from September 7 up to November 2, okay? September 7 up to November 2. Okay, so time limit is 1 hour, and grading method will be the highest grade. So if you have attempted 3 times, so the highest score will be recorded. Okay, and we have here week 4, and we have a discussion here. So you have to click it and then read everything about it. Okay, so there will be a discussion. If you want to add a new discussion, you may also add. Okay, okay. And then we have week 5 and performance tasks. Okay, so like their written activity, written work, you have to answer these performance tasks. Again, the opening for batch 2016 is from September 7 up to November 2 for written works and performance tasks. Okay, so all the answers from this activity will be found in your LMS module. So you have to read every lecture here, okay, in your week, from week 1 to week 9. Okay, so we have week 6, intercultural communication, and week 7, another written work. So your written work 2, same schedule from September 7 up to November 2. And week 8, listening topic, and then week 9 performance task 2. For week 10, this will be your quarterly exam. For batch 2016, the schedule of the quarter exam will be from November 3 up to November 6. Okay, so that will be 3 days, and that is 2 hours per subject. Okay, so you have a lot of time to uh, consume in answering your quarterly exam. Okay, so make use of it. Okay, so now let's go to our discussion from week 1 up to week 2. Okay, so I hope you gather information here. Okay, so the definition and principles of communication. So once born, we start communicating with our parents. So when you are a baby, diba, crying when we are hungry, scared, or when we feel pain. So as we grow up, our family, then society teaches us how to speak, then draw, then read and write. So through these practices, communication became integrated in our lives, in everyday life. So it then became a basic human activity that enables us to connect with each other. Okay. So having done this as early as we were babies, and having done this subconsciously, it may be a bit surprising to discover that communication is a complex process. Okay. So we take it for granted because it is natural for us. So it is a second nature for us to speak. Okay, use facial expression, listen to each other, and to learn how to read and write. So to be able to understand how it happens, we would need to dissect, okay, its characteristics and elements. So think about an incident or experience in the past where you got in trouble because you misunderstood what your parents or siblings said. So what did it feel like after you found out that you heard something wrong? Did it affect your day and your relationship with that person? So such simple experiences can give a glimpse of how pivotal the communication is in our lives. So look at the illustration in your screen, okay? So why do you think that this happened to their project? So in your opinion, how could they have avoided this error? Okay, so as you can see in the picture, there is a two persons arguing. Okay, so Mark B. Wayne sums up communication nicely. So he quoted that the difference between a good word and the right word is the same as the difference between a lightning bug and lightning. Okay, so learning how to be a good communicator opens a lot of opportunity for us in relationships, career, and in fulfilling our goals and dreams. Okay, so some of in the picture, some of us might answer they lack planning and communication to each other. Okay, so as you can see, this part um, constructed the railway on a different side of the uh, on the other side of the project. Okay, well this part also constructed the other side. Okay, but they do not coincide. Okay, they do not meet it at each other. So that's why they are arguing. Okay. So next, we get into the situation where we blame others for the unexpected outcome of something. So sometimes it is the root for miscommunication. Okay, so miscommunication, there is always miscommunication whatever we do. No, if we don't know how to uh, communicate properly. So why communication is important? So a good communicator opens a lot of opportunity for a strong relationships, successful career in the fulfilling our goals and dreams. Okay, so let us first define communication. Okay, so communication started years ago. Okay, with some of our ancestors surviving through drawings, sounds, and gestures. So if you can watch movie clips portraying the life of our ancestors, no? They draw, they form sounds, they communicate through gestures. No? They cannot actually speak well. No? Along with the evolution of civilizations, various mediums of communications also emerged. So through time, technology became integrated in our language, processes, and description. No? A lot of people learn how to communicate properly. So communication is defined in several ways, but the fundamental or basic aspects embodies this definition. Okay. So communication originating from the Latin word communis means to share. No? To share. So unite or join, no, can be defined as a process by which people share ideas or thoughts which can be understood by another through a chosen medium. So this said medium can either be verbal or non-verbal, okay, channels. So the principles of communication. Now, before we delve into the oral communication, so let us first go through the principles of communication. So knowing this would make easier for us to understand how to properly and adequately communicate with each other. Okay. Okay. Okay, so we have the first one, the schemata driven. Okay, so the process, so when you say schemata, it is a pattern of thoughts or behavior. Okay, it's a pattern of this, what do you mean by schemata? Okay, schemata or schema. So the process of communication makes you either the sender or the receiver. Okay, so by taking one of these roles, you will activate your schemata, your thinking, the background or experiences. So schemata or schemas provide the basis on how we relate to ideas, concepts, and events. So based on past experiences. Okay, so we have to experience that. So, having so prior experiences give meaning to conveyed messages. Okay, so having no previous experience nor idea will only resort pronouncing or sounding the word. So no experience of any communicative act will trigger views, feelings, or ideas. The next one, so for example, so what you can see in your screen, so the other person talks about the Wattpad while the other person talks about the Mobile Legends, but the one who is talking about the Wattpad doesn't have any experience about Mobile Legends, and the person who is talking about Mobile Legends doesn't have any experience about the Wattpad. So they don't actually understand or experience. They don't actually experience what it feels like to use a Wattpad or what it feels like to play Mobile Legends. So they cannot actually interpret okay, the delivered messages. So if the topic or word is out of your schema or knowledge, you will not be able to understand what the other person is trying to say. Okay, so number two, communication is an interpretative act. Okay, communication is an interpretative act. So the exact meaning of the message being transmitted is known only by the sender or the speaker. Okay, so the sender, it has the absolute idea of what the meaning of the message is. So the receiver uh, can only interpret, guess, or infer. So based on how it appears to his or her sense of hearing. Okay. So the receiver can only interpret, guess, or infer based on how it appeals to his or her sense of hearing. So for example, we have example on your screen. So the choice of words of the speaker, the sender, should be appropriate to the knowledge of the listener or receiver in order to interpret accurately. So for example, color half the sweets. Okay. So as you can see in the figure, the child or the one who did the activity colored half of the image. Okay? So, and we have here, Euler, patayin mo muna yung hangin. Okay? So there will be uh, a misinterpretation, okay, about the message. And next, we have common Filipino example, sara mo ang pinto, lalabas ang aircon. So the sender refers to the cool air coming out of the room if the door is open. So it does not necessarily mean the air conditioner will walk out of the room. Okay, so the receiver understand what the sender is trying to say, thus the receiver will surely close the door. So for example, another example, talian mo nga ako. Okay, so that means the hair, yung buhok. So bigyan mo ko ng lubid. So the reply, bigyan mo ako ng lubid. So in this example, the receiver is being sarcastic or is trying to make fun of the conversation. So the sender pertaining to tying the hair, not his or her body. Although the sender uses the pronoun ako instead of the noun buhok ko, which causes the receiver to interpret as tying the sender. So hence the receiver asked for the rope to tie the sender. So this kind of scenario happens sometimes, but in most cases, the receiver would just tie the hair of the sender. Because, Filipino being sarcastic. Diba? And in this sense, the receiver was able to interpret the message correctly. Okay, so next, communication is active, forceful, and powerful. So in a communicative act, there will always be different effects, okay, to participants. Okay, so any message conveyed may have various interpretations because of cultural, ideological, and environmental factors. What is rude in one culture can be perceived as something acceptable in another. So for example, in Western countries, calling an adult not related to you by their first name is acceptable. Okay, so yet in the Philippines, no, this is rude, no. If you call someone who is older than you by their name, you're being rude. You're not. You're being disrespectful. So you need to use their, for example, their titles for example, attorney, Miss, Mrs., teacher, etc. In general terms, showing respect. For example, auntie, kuya, tito, etc. So when you refer to them or call them by their name. Okay, so next, communication is symbolic. Okay, so signs, symbols, letters, graphs, pictures, etc. are concrete objects that stands for or represents an idea. Okay, so nonverbal communication, on the other hand, expresses ideas through gestures, the voice, speech, posture, facial expression, the time, and space. Okay, so number 5, communication always result in something. Okay, so 2 or more persons usually participate in any communicative act. Okay, there is a 2 persons, the receiver and the sender. So one sends a message while the other reacts to the message. So as a transactional process, communication creates an effect on the involved parties. So it will elicit either a verbal or non-verbal response. Okay, so number 6, communication is irreversible. Okay, so the adage, think before you click, suggests that you go over any message or idea before posting it on your social networks or messages, especially on your Facebook. Okay, so the same concept should also be applied to other forms of communication. So with oral communications, the moment you utter the words to convey your message, already creates an impact to listeners. So attempts to reverse or restore or recreate the original mood or setting before these words were spoken would be irrevocable. Once you hurt someone, you hurt already someone by your words, no. So always think 1,000 times before saying everything. Okay, so the discipline of mulling over your thoughts before translating them into your words can help avoid any instances which may cause problems directly or indirectly. So next, communication is contextual. Huh? So idea exchanges between the sender and the receiver involves communication setting like time, occasion, purpose, and manner of communication. So consider cultural differences when communicating to avoid any negative impact due to the effects of the factors above. Okay. Next, if the sender sorry. Next, number 8, communication is progressive. Now, communication is a process you learn from birth and continues to evolve as a time passes by. So, communicative competence is not learned in one sitting. No? So, you go through different levels as you strive to improve your abilities to interact with other people. No? You practice very well. No? Next, communication is a process. So several stages of communication take place when people convey and exchange ideas with one another. So each stage differs from the other. So elements or components work in a coordinated manner to complete the process. So there are elements of communication which takes their part in communication process, and there are also different channels or medium we can use in sending the message. Okay, so from the sender encoding the message and passing through the channel, and then will be received by the receiver, and there will be decoding or interpretation of the message. And in forming a feedback, the receiver will go back to uh, will be now the sender again. Okay, so the process continues. And then the next, number 10, communication is ethical. No? A communicative event is expected to follow rules, no, values, and beliefs agreed upon by members of society. So these standards determine which cultural group you belong. Okay, so going against these conventions make the interaction with each other wrong or unethical. Okay, so words, actions, and even objects have different meaning in different language, culture, or country. So for instance, like an okay sign means differently to some countries in Asia and in the West and Middle East. Okay, so number 11 or last, no, communication is influenced by technology and media, no. Communication in the current age of technology is characterized by the instant real-time exchange of knowledge, messages, and services, no? The rapid speed of communication influences how people construct their messages and what platform to use to send their message. So just like how mobile phones and computers being updated. Okay, so that will be the end of our week one discussion, no? The definition and principles of communication. So now let's go to week number two. Okay, the kinds of communication. Okay, so in the previous module, gave an overview of what the communication is and the principles that govern the process of communication. So in this discussion, there will be two main kinds of communication, no? So the non-verbal and the verbal communication, wherein the non-verbal is subdivided into two, which is the visual and audio. Now for visual, there will be kinetics, the haptics, the proxemics, chronemics, appearance, and the artifacts. For Okay. So for audiovisuals, there will be paralanguage, wherein the content, the pitch, the tempo, vocal quality, the juncture, and the volume. While in verbal communication, there will be this will be subdivided into two: the written communication and the oral communication. Okay, so there will be phonology, the morphology, semantics, syntax, and pragmatics. Okay, so nonverbal communication, a form of communication which does not use language. It can be symbols, actions, objects, and nonverbal voice cues. It can either be visual signals visible to eyes or audio signals that uses voice. Okay, so the visual signals, these are signals, actions, and objects which can convey message and are visible to our eyes. Now, once the sense of sight or the eyes perceive them, it will automatically send message to our brain and will process the information. So that's it enables us to provide meaning to it. Okay, we provide meaning to it. based on our knowledge and past experiences. Okay. So for visual signals, we have kinesics. So kinesics is the language of the body. No? It may pertain to body language such as hand gestures and facial expressions. Okay, so we have figure one, different facial expression as you're happy, you're mad, you're angry, you're surprised, and uh, thinking, and pretending. No? So figure two, there will be two different body postures. No? No, crossed arms, being defensive or self-protective or closed off. While the other one, the hands are at hips, so ready and in control, no? Or a sign of aggressiveness. No? So these factors forms the kinesics or the body language. Okay, next we have the proxemics. So proxemics is the language of space. No? Distance and space are devices that can also be used to convey meaning. So the relationship of people can either be determined by observing the distance they maintain from each other. Okay, so for the first one, you can say that this is a family, no? Because of their distances. While the other picture shows that these two people is a stranger to each other because of their distances. Okay, so this is the distance measure that we have to consider. For 0 to 18 inches, that is an intimate distance. So partners, examples of these are partners and core family. No? So for 18 to inches to 4 feet, that is a personal distance. So examples of these are friends and extended family. No? 4 feet to 10 feet distance is a social distance. No? Acquaintances, colleagues. No? So for 10 feet and above, so this is a public distance. So, so for example, the passerby, the stranger. So next we have the haptics. So haptics is this language of touch. So this nonverbal communication reveals feelings and culture. Okay, so for the first feature, this kind of handshake usually signifies agreement between two parties or common in business, no? Commonly used in business. So another figure on the right side, so this kind of handshake usually means comfort. Okay, so that is for haptics, language of touch. Next, we have the chronemics. This is the language of time. So this shows the interrelatedness of time and communication. So the more time we allot to something, it conveys how we value it. No? So if you are always late to work, this can also mean that you don't prioritize your work. So because if you do, you can actually think of ways to reach your workplace on time or earlier than your actual time. Next, we have the appearance. So the language of looks is the appearance. So the way a person looks reflects on his or her status or position, mood, culture, taste, and grooming. No? So for example, if you're a student, you can actually wear a uniform, no? And someone can identify you as a student. So sometimes appearance is enough to tell the person's status, profession, culture, and mood. No? So if we see a group of young people wearing similar or uniform attire, carrying their backpack at their back and wearing ID laces on their neck, we don't need to ask anymore if they are students, as our eyes have already seen the answers to our question. Next, the artifacts. So artifactual communication is the language of objects. So artifactual communication is the aesthetic coding and decoding of symbols and representations. So we have the ring, the flower, and colors. So those are example of artifacts. Next, we have the audio signals. So these are signals which are not visible to the eyes, no, but can be analyzed as it appeals to our hearing or senses. or the ears. No? We can analyze the mood and the message of the sender by checking on how he or she delivered the message. Next, number 7 is the paralanguage. The paralanguage refers to various nonverbal cues we can hear in our voice. So, example, the vocal quality. So, the vocal quality is the pleasantness or unpleasantness of a person's voice or sounds. No? So, voice quality is usually referred to as the timbre or the tone. Okay. So next, the pitch, the lowness or highness of tone. No? If you are angry, there will be a highness of tone. No? If you are being unconfident, uh, there will be a lowness of your voice when you are speaking, no? Or when you are talking to someone. Next, we have the tempo, how fast or slow someone speaks. And then volume describes the force of the voice or how loud or soft it goes. And then junctures, the breaks or pauses, no, applied at the end of utterances or between. Next, we have the verbal communication. It can be in two forms, in written or oral. So this kind of communication uses language. So uh, ver- under verbal communication, there will be phonology. So it studies the systems of sounds in language, including how sound is organized and structured to convey meaning. So there are 42 phonemes sounds in the English alphabet. So one symbol letter in the English alphabet may have not only one phoneme or sound. Next, we have morphology. Morphology studies the formation of words, or if we combine different sounds or the phonemes, we can form a word. Okay. Next, the semantics deals with the meaning of words, phrases, and sentences in a language. Every word in any language has its own meaning. In English, the affixes added to the words has also its own meanings. For example, we have beauty plus full. That means beautiful. Okay, so base word, the beauty, so means quality of being physically attractive, while the suffix full means full of. So beautiful means full of quality of being physically attractive. Okay. Next, we have the syntax. Syntax is when one studies how words are put together to form grammatically correct sentences in language. In English, there are a lot of grammar rules to follow. For example, the incorrect one, went I market buy to goods. While the correct one, I went to the market to buy some goods. So in the example above, um, observe how the first sentence differs with the second one. The first sentence does not convey a clear message, as it does not follow the subject-verb agreement grammar rule. So while the second sentence following the SV or the subject-verb agreement, it conveys a clearer message. Next, we have the pragmatics. So pragmatic touches on how language is used. No, it is how words can be interpreted in various scenarios. The context or settings is a significant factor which affects how the receiver accepts and interpret the message. So the sender and the receiver must identify the setting to avoid double meaning and miscommunication. For example, in Filipino example, magkano po dito sa talong nyo, kuya? So in context in the market, bubunutin ko na, hindi ito masakit, dahan-dahan. Dahan-dahanin ko lang. Okay? So that is dental clinic. Okay, there will be miscommunication. So for magkano po dito sa talong yung kuya, in this example, the context or setting is market. No? In this sense, neither the receiver nor the sender would laugh or think the statement is somewhat malicious. No? Considering the setting, the sender or receiver would easily understand or interpret that the one is the one asking is pertaining to the vegetable or yung talong which is being sold in the market. Okay, so while the other one about the dental clinic. So in this example, the context or setting is being dental clinic. So this is a place where the process of removing teeth happens or the bunot. No, in this sense, neither the sender nor the receiver also laugh at the statement. No, the sender is clearly pertaining to removing the teeth or the tooth. No, in which she assures the patient that it's not that painful. No? No, note that sometimes if consider only the message, not the setting or the context, we tend to think of double meaning or double interpretation of the message. So this is one of the causes of miscommunication. Okay, so that will be the end of the present or the discussion for week 1 and week 2 lectures. No, for your week 3 again, and that will be a written work. I hope that you already answered this one because your activities opened on September 7, no? From September 7 up to November 2. And now we're on October 6 already, and I'm expecting you that you already read these modules up to week 6. No? We're now on week 6 actually. Supposedly, no, week 5 to week 6, no? So we're here, your OLC in AMA, ACLC Paco, discussing these modules to help you, guide you in answering uh, and also learning, no, these activities and modules, no. So help yourselves to at least read, no, and answer these activities for you to be able to learn in your houses, no? As your ONC, we're here to guide you in our setting today in the new normal, no? So that will be the end of the discussion. So this will be recorded, no? If someone want a copy for this discussion, just message me. Okay, so thank you and see you on next discussion, hopefully. Okay, bye-bye po.